Hello and welcome. We are Bleeding Through Gaming. My name's Amy, aka Warpfiend, and I'm joined by.
Hello, I'm Tammy, aka the Autumn Witch, and I'm croaky AF.
Yeah, I am not feeling tip top right now. I think it's been a great festive season. We hope all our viewers have had a fantastic one. If you've been celebrating,
Yeah, I've decided to name this period of the year the perennial nanum because it's the bit
yes.
between the C and the A, you know, the Christmas and the anus.
Very nice, very nice. And we've been a little slack in content lately, but what we are going to do today is we're going to talk about some of the reveals that have been shown off over Christmas. And we're going to start with this. The Battle for Mcra coming back to made to order. Now, this is one that I think people kind of been expecting some more of the past box sets to come up for made to order thing.
Yeah,
GW have mentioned they would in the past.
I'm just disappointed that it's this one. Because if they were to redo Black Reach, that would fly. That would be fantastic because it was like their first big box set where you had like several different units and you had vehicles and HQ options and all sorts, whereas this is like the last of the just a couple of units of troops. I think the thing that people are going to be interested in is the wreckage, the Aquila Lander.
Yeah, that's all very cool.
Yeah, because there's nothing else in there that I think is really worth bumping the set up to 90 quid, especially if it's not even coming in the in like, you know, a replica of the original packaging. Yeah, and I mean no whippy sticks either. I mean, what the hell, GW? We need whippy sticks and everything.
Oh dear. I think it's just in general good that they are reprinting these stuff. I think it's good for the hobby that they can go back and do this, even if, like, as you say, there are a lot of downsides. I think people whose this was their first 40k box set are going to be really excited to get this.
I mean,
if you're like me and it's got no particular nostalgia value to you, you might give it a miss. But
yeah, it's the thing is that those Tyrannid sculpts have not been out of production very long.
Yes,
they made a big deal like, oh look, it's all updated and wonderful, and then they bung out 10 of the push fit termagants and what's that, 6 gene stealers. It's really the Aquila Lander that is like the big cool thing in this set. I reckon they could just bung that in its own set, include the pylons and the pilot, and like have an updated scenario for 10th edition, and that would be fine. I'd probably grab a couple of those because I do want the Aquila Lander. I just don't want it enough to spend 90 quid on a crashed spaceship and a load of miniatures that aren't looking their best.
You make fair points. I mean,
the nostalgia, absolutely fine. If this is your thing, fantastic. But come on, Games Workshop, give us Black Reach. I would blow a goat for Black Reach.
Now, what edition was Black Reach? Was that 5th edition?
That was 5th. So it's the one after this. Now, recently they did the 3rd edition one.
Yes.
But then they did Dark Vengeance as well, which was the 6th and the 7th, but that was split into factions. So you could buy the Chaos side, or you could buy the Dark Angel side, or you could get them both as one big thing. But with this, it would be very difficult for them to warrant like splitting it in half and charging like 45 quid for each side of it. I mean, maybe for like the Aquila Lander, but like the the Tyranids themselves, that's not like it. This is very heavily weighted towards the Imperial side, model wise.
Right.
So that's probably why they haven't done that. But I mean, like I say, if it's your nostalgia, fantastic. They could have given us some whippy sticks though.
Fair enough. Well, that's something old that we've seen. There's something else old coming up, but first of all, let's go
That'll
to
be
something
me.
brand
I'm
new.
old.
And me, yes.
Oh
Dear.
here
Well,
we
we have
go.
Belial, the new model.
He looks, especially when you see the version without the hood up, he looks like my year 9 German teacher. Like creepily like my year 9 German teacher.
I can see that. Well, I didn't have the same teacher, but like I had a
He
geography
looks
teacher
like,
with the same kind of widow's peak haircut.
yeah, it looks like a 1990 secondary school teacher. Yeah, I mean, he looks cool. They've changed a lot from the current model.
Yes, it is pretty different.
It is. In fact, there's very little on there sort of like unique that screams I'm Belial or Belial or however it's pronounced, or Belial.
Belial, I'd say
Yeah.
Belial.
Yeah. Yeah, there's but the thing is, the current model, he's got his own like special banner. He's got like his own sort of like sigils and stuff on his armor.
Yeah.
Which with this, it looks like they've done like a ground up redesign, which is absolutely cool. He looks great. I did recently convert and kit bash my own version of him though, because my Deathwing are in the old Terminator scale. So, is there anything about this that would make me want to grab it if I was like starting one? Absolutely, but it's not quite enough yet.
Fair enough. Well, I really like the new design. I think it's more kind of grounded, and although I do like ridiculous stuff on Space Marines sometimes, the choice of like a Terminator having the massive banner on them always seemed like a weird option. Like that was always like a power armor thing, basically.
Yeah.
I think he does look a lot better with this just more compact shape and kind of silhouette to him. It's a fantastic model that I'm sure a lot of people are going to do some fantastic paint jobs on.
Yeah, and a burning skeleton on the base is always a welcome addition.
Yep. Nice little grimdark touch there. So Belial wasn't all we saw of the Dark Angels, of course. We
now,
also
these
saw
guys, I like these guys. If I
Inner Circle Companions.
And if I were to get the Lion, I would definitely be getting a box of these to accompany him. Yes. These look fantastic.
So the lore to these is quite interesting because they mysteriously appeared, and they're like these bodyguards that appeared once the Lion returned, but they're strongly hinted to be the fallen that the Lion had forgiven in the narrative. I believe they're called the Risen now.
Yeah.
It should be an interesting way of kind of like merging them back into the army, into like the Dark Angels and the successor chapters. And these ones have in particular got some very heavy nods to the classic Dark Angels in that they're a much darker color.
Yeah, they've got the black armor of the Heresy era, which looks great. I'm really hoping that they do something big with the Fallen. I know I've been saying that for years, but it's such a big part of Dark Angels lore, and with the exception of Cypher getting a re-release about like 6-7 years ago, there's not really been anything. There's like a White Dwarf mini codex that said, oh, now you can take a Rhino and a Chaos Sorcerer with your Fallen. I just want to see more Fallen. I really want to see more Fallen.
It feels like very much like these are the Fallen, though.
Yeah.
And these are perfect models for, I don't know how GW are going to treat the Fallen going forward in terms of rules updates for them.
Yeah,
But these are your perfect models for them, really, and I
they are.
think they would
I
look
mean,
absolutely fantastic
yeah,
as the centerpiece of like a Fallen army.
yeah. But I'd like to see some with like ranged weapons as well.
Yes, that would be
You
interesting.
know, sort of Fallen themed shooty Marines would be nice. But yeah, they look absolutely great. I love them.
Yep.
Love them,
So
love them, love them.
there's some more of those. That's a lovely icon they've got. I really do like that one. There's also the upgrade kit.
Now, I've got thoughts on this.
What are your thoughts then?
My thoughts are this is how you're going to get like chapter specific Terminators and other stuff. You're not going to get a Deathwing Terminator kit. You're not going to get a Blood Angels Terminator kit or a Space Wolves Wolfguard kit. You'll be directed towards the multi-part Terminator kit, and
But
there will be an upgrade sprue for each, which is
now,
fine.
saying that, they have already shown off the models for Terminator, Deathwing Knights.
Deathwing Knights, yeah, but that
which
is
are
different.
a form of specific Terminators for them.
Yeah, but the previous Deathwing kit, you had so many weapons options in there to build them as like one of several units. You could build them as a command squad or as a Knights kit or as like regular Deathwing Terminators. But there's been nothing shown that I've seen nothing that says that the Deathwing Knights kit can also be built as.
See, I mean, to me, that makes sense. You have a kit that's a highly specialized Terminator unit that only this chapter can use. And so it has an almost like uniform weapon loadout, or maybe two options. And then you provide the upgrade kits so that the actual normal Terminators, so you can bring in all of those into your specific squad. And that to me seems a reasonable way of doing it.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, I've been saying this for ages. I would love to see the other chapters get an upgrade kit that's like as extensive as the Black Templars one. And we've got one here for the Dark Angels.
Yeah, very much so. You even get the little Watcher in the Dark there.
Yeah.
You get the thing for the bike. Now, I'm really hoping you don't just get one of those things for the bike in a kit.
I think because you do on the sprue.
It looks like, that makes him look very Ravenwing, although it, like, the classic ones had two, one on either side.
Yeah.
So, like, you're looking at, for a squad of 3 bikers, they come in threes, right? If you wanted to do them like the old ones, you're looking at 6 sets of these sprues, which is really not sustainable. So it's kind of like, okay, you can put this on your sergeant, maybe.
Yeah. But when you look at the actual, the numbers of what you get on that sprue.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff, and there's some, like, these helmets are fantastic. The shoulder pads, you get plenty. You get the little icons that stick on, and you get the plasma cannon.
Yeah, but what you get, because this isn't a just like a Deathwing one. This is for like this covers all Dark Angels.
Yeah.
You get 5 Reaver style shoulder pads. You get 5 regular power armored shoulder pads. You get it looks like 5 Terminator pads. Essentially, this will do you if you wanted to fit out like a squad of 10 infiltrators or intercessors. You're gonna really need 2 of these to get enough molded transfers. Unless, I mean, I'm sure it's going to come with a quite comprehensive transfer sheet. So, yeah, but yeah, what this makes me look forward to, because basically I've finished buying my my Dark Angels now, but with the exception of I want to get the Lion in the new year. But what I'm looking forward to is specifically Deathwatch, because the current Deathwatch upgrade kit is just ridiculous. It was meant for converting like the old Firstborn kits in 7th edition into
Yes.
Deathwatch, whereas they're still bunging that in with like Deathwatch Primaris, which there's like stuff in there that just doesn't fit the models. It's really quite clunky. So I want to see a really good Deathwatch one. I would love to see, and it's less likely, that like Raven Guard, White Scar, Salamanders, Iron Hands, Imperial Fists, it would be great for all of them to be able to get an upgrade kit like this.
Fair enough, yeah. It's fantastic kit. There's loads of options there. You can do loads of stuff. Obviously,
yeah,
you're always going to want more with upgrades and stuff like this, to be honest. Like, no matter how much they do it, you're always going to want more bits. But I think this is like a great selection of stuff they've got.
It is. It's a really good kit. It's so much better than the current upgrade sprue. That's I mean, because Ultramarines, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, and Blood Angels, they get like one single sprue and no transfers in their upgrade kit, whereas the other Codex chapters, they get like 2 of the sprues and 2 sheets of transfers, and they're only like a 5 or more than the other ones. But yeah, so Deathwing Assault, here we are.
Yep, we've seen this box. And so you get 5 Deathwing Knights, the individual sculpts, 10 regular Terminators, 2 complete sets of the Dark Angels upgrade sprues.
Of course, because there's only 5 Terminators worth of bits on each one.
And you also get data slate cards and the Codex supplement with an exclusive cover. And also some transfers.
Transfers are good.
This to me looks like a great box. Now, I think what everyone wants to know is what the price is. And they seem to have been like 120 to 140 quid lately for these.
Well, if we look at the actual cost of so you got 2 copies of the new multi-part Terminator kit. They're £40 each, so that's like 80 quid's worth there. I'd reckon the Deathwing Knights would be about the same, so that's 120, and the new Terminator characters are about 30, and that's not including the upgrade sprues. So you're probably looking at about 160, 170 quid's worth of stuff, not including the Codex or the data cards with it. So I'd say over
probably
200 quid's worth at retail. So, unless it is like 200 quid.
Well, we don't know. GW's prices and prices everywhere in this country at the minute are pretty heavily fluctuating. So when I say fluctuating, I mean going up constantly. So, who knows? But seems like a great box. If that's what you want to start a Deathwing army, that is your full Deathwing. What's that? I don't know what the current points are for Loyalist Terminators. About 1,000 points there, right?
I'd say so. The Terminator squads are a little under 200 points for 5, and the I know that the Knights are currently 235 points. So and Belial is brain fart. I think he's about 80 points. So you're looking
quite cheap for a Terminator character.
It's a peculiar thing that, I mean, obviously it'll change once the Codex comes out.
Oh yes, I'm sure they'll
deck stuff with everything. But named characters tend to be reasonably cheap. Kosaro Khan, for example, for my White Scars, is like 70 points.
Really?
Whereas generic captains, like Spaceman captains, tend to be around the 80 to 90. Some even like around 100 points. So
See, I'm too used to Age of
it's
Sigmar pointing at the minute, where that seems ridiculously cheap for characters.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I think it's because they have a fixed loadout and fixed abilities.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
they're less flexible. But
fair enough.
okay.
Fair enough. Excuse
But
me.
yeah, so I'd say it's about
Moving on.
750 points,
Okay.
maybe 800.
Well, moving on from that, let's go on to the last big reveal that we've been shown.
Yay.
And that is the Tomb King's army box. Now, we'd already seen what was in the Bretonia one. I think it's copied there. Tomb King's one looks the big box
Croc dragon.
Yep, the Croc dragon. And that's the new foot hero? Yes.
Yeah.
I can't tell if that's an old one or a new one. I'll be honest with you, I've completely forgotten.
Okay, well, scroll down, it'll tell you exactly what you get. Because the Croc Dragon, I think, is the only new one.
Oh, that's the one you get with the Bone Dragon, yes. And it can additionally build a Tomb King on foot.
Yeah. So you get 2 characters in that kit. And
nice.
Yeah, the rest are, I believe, the previous range. So all of the other new stuff for Tomb Kings that's coming out will be coming out as like a separate release.
Cool.
Rather than bundle all the new stuff into the box set, you've got one new thing, well, technically 2, but it's in the same kit, and everything else is reissued. But it all looks fantastic.
Yep. I'm sorely tempted by this, and it's not so much that I want to start a Tomb King's whole army, but I just want to buy all the kits for conversion stuff, because like those original skeletons, people always say, oh, they're not the right proportions and they look a bit janky compared to modern sculpts. You know what? That's great. It's great that they're old sculpts because they've got all the separate arms still. They're great for just breaking up and like scattering like skeletons on ruins to just make things more atmospheric on your bases and stuff like that. They're great for like really crazy Dark Souls style conversions. I love the old kits, and while I really want to see some nice new skeletons at some point, we've seen the Death Rattle ones for Age of Sigmar. We talked about those in a podcast recently. They're great, but they're not as good for converting, and these ones are. As well as stuff like the Necro Sphinx, which is fantastic for conversions. You want something Thousand Suns?
Yeah, Thousand Suns. This would be perfect as like a bit thing for them.
Yes. So I'm severely tempted to pick up, if not this box, maybe wait till the individual kits come out.
Now it's the rule book. Each of the sets is coming with the rule book. Now I'm wondering if that's just for the launch and they'll be doing other sets that's like one army and it comes with the rule book.
It would make sense for them to launch each individual faction like that, I think. Whether they, these seem to be quite big boxes, whether they have the production capacity to keep on doing that army after army, I'm not entirely sure. But it would make sense. You buy your entire army in a big box. You pay like probably about 200 quid or so, and you've got everything to get started.
Yeah, I mean the memes are already out there regarding the weight of the rule book.
Yes, it's certainly a hefty tome.
Yeah, I have a feeling I might need some help lifting it with my back the way that it is. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I use Battle Scribe. I mean, all the rules are going to be on that. I'm not going to have to keep hoisting it about. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to like the dwarves and the high elves and everything. But Tomb Kings is also tempting me a bit.
Yes, very much so. Well, that's all of the Christmas reveals. This has been a bit of a rambly post Christmas one.
Yep.
And yeah, we've got loads more of the Age of Sigmar Vanguard box reviews
Yeah, we've got
coming
one
soon.
coming out Friday, and then on Monday, New Year's Day, my next making and painting video will be out, which showcases all of the skills and stuff that I've gathered over the past year. So yeah,
Lovely. Look out for that one.
Yep.
So we hope you've all had a great 2023, and we will see you in 2024.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm going to eat pizza now.